Okay, so let's talk about some more practical tips. I'm going to throw out another practical tip to making millions, whether you're 21 or you're 71. You have to understand the principle of inversion. So inversion, I'll give you a practical example of inversion. Let's say you want to make $100,000 a year from an online business, okay? So I invert it. If I want to make $100,000 in 1 year, how much do I have to make in 1 month? So you divide with your calculator, roughly $8,000 a month, roughly. So I've inverted from $100,000. I've gone backwards in reverse. If you don't know what the word inverted is, you're failing my vocabulary test. So 100, now you're at 8,000. A lot less scary to make $8,000 a month than to try to make 100,000 if you've never done it. Now, let's invert further. To go back from 8,000 in 1 month is roughly $300 a day, roughly. You're not going to work every day, so let's just call it $300 a day. Now, that's still a big number to some people. How many hours do you work on average? Well, if you're doing it on the internet, you're selling 24 hours a day. So now this is where this gets very interesting. What is 300 divided by 24 hours? Roughly, it's $12 an hour. You only have to make $12 an hour if you're doing it 24 hours a day online to make $100,000 a year. What's scarier? Making $100,000 if you've never done it, or making $12 an hour? That's inversion, my friend. And the principle of inversion will take you from being completely afraid to going, wait, this is doable. Some people only want to make $70,000 or $50,000. To make $50,000 a year, you just have to figure out how to make $6 an hour.
Yeah, I remember when I was like, I thought, when I make $1 million a year, I'll be like the coolest dude on the planet. And it was crazy because that's really, I thought it was amazing. Yeah. And when I hit $1 million a month, it's like, well, shit, dude, why am I not thinking bigger?
Right.
And if I could go back, I would have thought bigger immediately, right off the get-go.
Yeah, but that
sounds unbelievable
but
unless you invert.
That's why you got to do inversion, because nobody, like if you're me, I never met somebody who was a millionaire my whole 0 to 18 years old, even until I was in my 20s. I never met a millionaire. I mean, I might have seen them on TV, but I never met somebody. And then you meet them and you're like, oh, well, they're not smarter than me. That's most of the time when you meet millionaires, you're going to be like, wait a second.
Well, it depends, because I think everyone's a millionaire. You either have $1 million or you got 1 million excuses, but you're a millionaire one way or the other.
Million excuse. We need
everyone's
a
a millionaire,
for that.
man. You just got millions of dollars or excuses. Because excuses, talk about how damaging that is. Procrastination and excuses, dude, just hang it up, man.
Well, I always say there's two types of people in the world. One does stuff, and the second has amazing stories why they didn't get it done. It's like, here's a little test you can do. Next time you have to move, text 10 of your supposedly closest friends and be like, dude, can you help me move this Saturday morning? I got to be out. I got to change apartments or houses or whatever. You're going to, if they're close friends, most of them going to text back. At least 3 of them won't text back. They'll pretend like, oh, my phone wasn't working next time they see you, okay? So that leaves 7. Out of 7, you're going to have like 3 who have some amazing, it's always amazing stories too. It's like, dude, you ain't going to believe this. My dog ran into my grandma and they're both in critical surgery and I have to go to their funeral. Like something like weird. You're just like, what? You could have just said no instead of that. So 3 people are gone. So that leaves you with 4. Out of the 4, like 1 or 2 of them will be honest. Like, yo, I'm in Amsterdam or something. That leaves you with 2. Those 2 will be like, yeah, I'll be there. Mark my words, Saturday morning, when you wake up and check your text, 1 person will be like, yo, I'm at your door, open up. Magically. And the other person is going to have the world's greatest stories. Dude, I was planning to be there. You ain't going to believe it. An acorn fell, hit my dog. My dog kind of went crazy, ran in a circle. He hit a little piece of metal. The metal hit something on the roof. My car, as I was backing out to hit you, it was crushed by an anvil. And you're just like, what? And they're like, but next time I'll be there, dude. You know I'll be there for you. That's like about starting a business. You're going to meet for every 10 people who are like, dude, I'm on my entrepreneur track, man. I'm going to do big things. You're going to 3 of them just fall off the plan. You don't even know what happened. They're done. They just like, you see them 10 years later they're a barista at Starbucks. And then you get those 4 people who Or I had a friend like this. He's actually related to me. Someone related to me. And he's like, he has a daughter, and he's just like, I can't get a job. He's like, he's like, one of my family's like conspiracy king, dude. Insane conspiracies. Like, just things that just, I'm like, really? It's like, yeah, man, like, China's not real. It's like an invention. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, have you ever been to China? I'm like, no. He's like, then how do you know it's there? I'm just like, that is the worst argument. I've never met your grandpa, but I bet you're here, therefore there's a grandpa. Like, you can use principles of logic, right? That's called a posteriori and a priori logic. Some things are obvious. So I said, you got a daughter, dude. You have to get a job. So I said, I promise you I have the formula for you to make money. He goes, what? I said, go down to Sunset Boulevard. This is a true story. I said, go talk to 20. He had worked in the restaurant business. He goes, no one's hiring. That's what he told me. He's like, no one. I'm like, yes, I am sure in the city of Los Angeles with 13 million people in the metropolitan area, you're right. There's probably not one restaurant in need of help. You are a fucking genius. So he goes, I said, go to 10 places. You will have a job tomorrow. So he's like, all right, I'm going to take your word for it, dude. Guess what? World's most amazing story. I forget what it is now. He's like, I went to one. I got in a fight with the chef or something. I'm like, you got in a fight on a job interview? Like, he's like, yeah, and they didn't hire me. I'm like, you punched the chef. Like, you're not going to get a job. And then that was the only one he went to. And he's like, see, it didn't work. I said, you went to one and you got in a fight. It's like, really? And he's just like, see, I told you. And he has like massive theories about the government. He's like, because this is when unemployment was high. But do you know what unemployment was in America? I mean, in California, in like, after the recession, it was at 12%. Now, some people are stupid and don't understand economics. Let me explain it. Let me give you a quick economics lesson. You want unemployment to always be at least 6%. It means that people feel like they can change crappy jobs. When unemployment gets too low, when it's at like 1%, it means we're in such a recession, nobody will quit the job that they hate. So you want 6% recession in unemployment. So the United States and Southern California got to 12%. So that means for every 100 jobs, only 6 were gone. And that just still means that 88 people out of 100 are still employed. And you know, out of those 6 unemployed, at least half of them, it's their fault. They're dumb, or they're what Brad said, full of excuses, man, full of excuses.